This morning at the first service, I got up and spoke, and I'm 35 years old, and it's the first time I ever gave testimony, so it was a new experience for me. And what always amazes me is the way God works things out. When I got up, I said some things I didn't intend to say, and I forgot other things that I wish I'd said, and then I almost fell off the podium when I left. But in between, something really good happened. I really feel like God blessed it in spite of I didn't do what I didn't do. I didn't think I did right, but somehow God just worked it out. And He showed me something when I almost fell off the podium, and I thought I was going to fall down in front of the congregation after sharing. And then when I sat down, I realized that being a Christian doesn't mean you don't stumble. What being a Christian means is that you're going to get up. It means that when you get up, you're going to be better off than when you stumbled. And that we need to focus not on the stumbling and the falling, but the getting up. Because we are going to get up. And so, see, it was good that I stumbled because I didn't know that until I fell. And so, really, what I want to do for you today is I don't want to tell you what's in my head because there's really not much there. I want to tell you what's on my heart because that's what Jesus did when He was on earth. He told us what was on His heart. And He had the Father on His heart. So I want to tell you a little bit about my stumbling. I want to tell you about me getting up. That's a good part. In the last few months, we've had a few things happen to us in our family. And throughout all the ordeal, that y'all have been there with us. And y'all didn't always understand what was going on because we didn't tell you. And we didn't tell you because we didn't know what was going on. But if we'd have known, we would have told you. But anyway, the last few months, Carol, we've had a baby that was born. And boy, he's doing great. Never had any problems. And then Carol's been in the hospital in and out for 5 or 6 of the last 9 months. And we've had a lot of problems with the family. And throughout them all, y'all were bringing food by our house. And so many people couldn't believe it that y'all brought food by our house. And they'd say, why did they do things like that? I never heard of that. Because it went way beyond. See, maybe at first, some people could say he deserved it. And then after 2 months of that, people go, uh-oh, this is way beyond what you deserve. And y'all did so many things for me. Y'all given me your money. You've given me your time. You've raised my kids these last months. Y'all have seen them more than I have. In return, y'all didn't really get much. I mean, y'all would send me a great meal over to my house, and a lot of y'all would fix it for you, fix your own food, and then in return, I would lose your dishes. And then I would ask you to watch my kids, and 2 months later, I'd come back and pick them up. So, and y'all have really been amazing, and I know that y'all could do that because you really weren't doing it for me, you were doing it for Jesus. And that's what was sustaining y'all, and that was sustaining me through y'all. And so where I was during the month of May, in case you didn't know I wasn't here, I was in the hospital, and I was being restored at a Christian hospital that had Christian doctors and nurses and Spirit-filled doctors and nurses and Spirit-filled neuropsychiatrists and psychiatrists. And what it is it's in St. Mary's in Galveston. They have a RAFA unit. And what it is it's a Christian psychiatric unit. And they teach you how to be whole, how to be well, and how to know God, and they teach you how to beat the devil, and that we've already beat him. And so I was up there for a month, and one thing I began to get free of, and I'm still not free of it, but I had a big problem with pride. Every time I would do something good, I was always trying to do good, then I would feel real proud, and then immediately that would just steal whatever I'd done. And so when you spend a month on a psychiatric ward, it does put a dent in your pride. It really does. So I was up there, and I found out lots of good things about God, and that God really loved me, and He had good things for me. And I found out He really loved the church if He would have a place like this, for Christian people to go to escape from the enemy, to get whole, to know what God has for them. And also what I found up there was really sad was on this unit there were really people, and there were some people that were really famous in the Christian world because all these people were saved, they were Christians, the other patients, and some of them were Spirit-filled. And some of them are really even famous people. Some of them are millionaires, and some of them you might even know. One's the president of a Christian record company. And the sad thing for most of them, they would tell you that their church wasn't with them. That they were ashamed of them, and they wouldn't come visit them. They never had done anything for them. And so on a psychiatric unit, all us people that the world had given up on, we became the church, the body of Christ. And it was really great. And the good thing about it, the sad thing for some of the other people was they were afraid to go back in the world because they said, we're a body, but where's the body out there? And the thing that really humbled me, I could tell them, hey, there is a body out there. Let me tell you. There's some people out there that's just like the Church of Acts. And they'll stick with you. And even though you lose their dishes, they'll still send you food the next day. And I was able to tell them all the things that y'all have done for me. And since they knew me, they knew I didn't deserve that. And I could tell them about y'all, as being the church. And they just couldn't believe it. I mean, they were excited, too, that it's possible for them to find a church out in the world and not just on the 6th floor of a psychiatric unit. And so I just want to tell you that y'all really are family, and that's the reason I can tell you this. And I'm glad that y'all accept me the way God accepts me. And so, like I've done again, I haven't said what I wanted to say, but that's all I feel led to say. So we just thank you. And right now, Carol's learning how to be healed, too. And she's in that same hospital in Galveston, and she's really going through the time. We still need your prayers, and we still need everything. And we thank you that you're always there and that we really see Jesus through y'all. Amen.